2024 was a really crazy year. A lot of businesses seem to have closed down in that year because the economy was just very, very difficult. And I don't know about you, but it seemed like the goals changed from February to July to just survive the year. Instead of increasing profits and increasing support and followers, we just needed to make it through the year. Mercy Creates actually celebrated its 7th birthday in 2024, and it's really got me nostalgic and emo thinking because it's been so cool to see how the business has grown and developed throughout the years. And I really wanted to make this end of year recap video because it's just really cool. It's really cool to see how God has really sustained and provided for the business. And if we haven't yet met, my name is Rachel. I'm the manager and artist of Mercy Creates, a business that designs paintings and products that help you create Christ-centered conversations in your home. And like I said, the business celebrated its 7th birthday this year, and I really wanted to do a recap of what worked and, what wasn't super great in the year, what could, possibly be better for 2025. Just think of it as one of those filler episodes like in Frasier or Boy Meets World where they go back through the season and they're like, oh, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened. This is that kind of episode. To kick us off and talking about what really worked in 2024, the first thing I want to talk about is how the product creation was really streamlined for Christmas ornaments. Now, for the past few years, I've released a collection of signature Christmas ornaments, and they've taken a long time to create, to handle, to put together, from ordering, from painting, to assembling, to photography, and all the marketing for it. I probably start this process in June or July to launch in November, because everybody's buying ornaments in November and December. Now, the previous ornaments looked like this. They are hand-torn paper, gold leaf, silver leaf, handwritten, acrylic discs, velvet ribbon, and inside you can see that there's a Mercy Creates sticker in it. These ornaments are super pretty and they're one of the best-selling products in the Mercy Creates shop. I probably send out anywhere between 500 to 700 ornaments every year between wholesale and regular orders in the store. So it was really important for me to figure out how to streamline this process because I'm a business of one. Like I've mentioned before, I commute, I go to work, I cook, I clean, I just can't spend so many hours trying to figure out how to make this ornament 700 times. So in 2024, I really started researching how could I improve the ornament and how could I streamline the process. So at some point, if I'm able to hire or have other people help me, they can take it on easily without me having to, do half of the work or more than half of the work and then give them small projects. They can now take an ornament and make it themselves at home. So I don't have to be part of the process. The main change that came was I purchased a hole punch from Amazon. It's a circular hole punch. That's what it looks like. It's great. And in the description below, I'll link to everything that I've mentioned that has really helped streamline the process and other apps and software that have really helped Mercy Creates in 2024. So I went from the hand-torn edges to a very straight line edge, circle edge. And I was really hoping that my customers would love it because on the back end, it made my life a lot easier. So please love it. And at the market, someone came by my tent and said, oh, I have one of your old ornaments, the one with the hand-torn edges. And she saw the new ones and she said, oh, I just love them both so much. It's so hard to decide which one, I like more, which one is prettier. They're both really pretty. And that was the overall consensus I got, was that even moving from the hand-torn edge look to the cut look, it didn't matter. People love the ornaments, they love the design, they love the colors, they love the thought behind it, they love the messaging. So it's an encouragement to you that if you're going to try and streamline your process and change it maybe just a little bit, maybe it can work and your customers won't even know, or they will know and they'll just love the product even more. Now, the other way that I really streamlined the process was, like I mentioned before, inside the ornament, there would be a Mercy Creates sticker. So you know who made the ornament and how to find more, get connected to the website. this year, instead of doing the stickers, which was another cost and another, time consumption, because you had to peel the sticker off individually, center it on the paper, make sure everything was centered before when you put the hole punch in, and then, put the ring around it. It was just a lot of process, a lot of thinking, and it needed to go. We couldn't do that anymore. So instead of the sticker, I got on Etsy and ordered about 300 personalized charms that say Mercy Creates on them. And that was huge because I've now removed a process and an expense. Well, I've replaced the expense, but I removed part of the process. Instead of having to peel off a sticker, center it perfectly, now you just have to hook the charm onto the ring and we're done. So that was a really good thing that happened in 2024, being able to streamline product creation and processing, because like I said, I want to be able to hand this off to somebody in the near future, and I don't want there to be so many specific steps that makes it difficult for them to do. This has to be an easy process. It can't be so complicated that, when we have an order of 300 ornaments, I'm stressing out, not only because we have to fulfill it and we need to make sure we have all the materials and supplies, but I now have to teach somebody else how to do it step by step. Another big win of 2024 was that I launched Watercolor Foundations. This is a digital class that helps take out the overwhelm and the intimidation of learning a new skill and a new process, because it's drawing on my knowledge, my inspiration, my trial and error over the past 10 years, and essentially giving you a big frequently asked questions portal and library. So if you have questions about which brush do I use for lettering, which brush do I use for florals, why is my paper wrinkling and bending all the time, how do I understand which colors work best with each other, Watercolor Foundations does it all for you. You can check out the link below to join Watercolor Foundations and learn more about it. I'm really proud of this class because, like I said, it's a lot of the knowledge and the trial and error through my watercolor painting career. And I'm happy to share it with people because I get a lot of messages asking, where do I buy my supplies? How do I do this? Where did you learn this from? Can you do this? And because I created this digital product, I can direct people to Watercolor Foundations so they can learn on their own time and have whatever question that they might not know that they have in the moment, they can have that answered. So creating this course really helped take out some of the overwhelm that I would feel in my emails and DMs, because like I said, I would get a lot of messages asking questions about my process and techniques and how I do things. And now I'm just able to direct them to the course. And they have the option to purchase it, and if they don't, that's totally fine. But it kind of gives me some leeway of like, okay, I can't answer this right now, but I know that the answer is in this course. It was also great for me to create this because it serves as the building block for any other watercolor digital classes and products and workshops that I want to offer in 2025. I think it makes more sense to have more of a foundational, technique-driven, understanding your tools course before getting into, here's how I paint this, here's how I do this, here's how I paint this. Like in 2025, I really want to do some more classes and workshops of how I created the Psalms Project collection. How do I paint watercolor Bibles? How do I paint floral wreaths? And you don't know, or you might not understand how I got to do these projects unless you understand how I use the tools and what techniques I've learned. So in order for you to really understand and master the projects and workshops, it's best if you have that foundation of paints and tools and brushes and papers. So it's really great that Watercolor Foundations came first because I want people to be able to succeed later on. I'm also really glad that I launched Watercolor Foundations because this helps build out my digital product real estate. I'm mainly a product, e-com, physical product creator, and I love doing that. I love being tactile, but I also like how the numbers look when you sell a digital product. There's not as much overhead and there's not as much thinking through like shipping, postage, weight, taxes. I don't necessarily have to do that with a digital product like I would a painting or a book. So I'm really glad to start diving in and developing more digital products. And it's going to create a nice revenue stream. And I'll talk more about that in the next video because I can't always be there to ship physical products. I'm going on a missions trip next year in 2025, so nothing's going to be shipping then, but I don't want to lose a full week of income. Now, the third thing that worked really, really well in 2024 is that I dialed down more in what people are willing to trade their email addresses for and what I'm able to offer. So I can grow my email list and have people continuously hearing from me and, still getting value, still getting something really nice in return. Business owners talk all the time about what's your opt-in, what's your freebie, what's your download. And, we think of these things and we're like, well, people actually want to download this. Or we think through, how can I give enough that someone will want to trade their email address for, but not give them the full product. There's a lot of like, well, what do I do? What do I do? How do I get email addresses to build my list, to build more revenue, to get more customers, to get more clients, to build my business? How do I get that first step for someone to join in with their email address? And this year, my main way of focusing on how to do that was through 2 digital Bible studies. The mini digital Bible studies came easy to me to create because I just pulled them through one of the other digital products I created in a previous year, the Psalms Project Digital Bible Study. This digital Bible study is inspired by the Psalms Project, but it's completely email driven. So you can use what you already own, the technology that you already have, to grow closer to the Lord and deepen your faith. Because you're given an email every single day from one chapter of the book of Psalms. And each chapter has a 1 to 5 minute reading time. Like, I've read through the Psalms so many times, and it's just an incredible book. And I'm so glad to be able to translate it from, a print copy to an email copy. So it doesn't matter where you're at. If you're waiting in line for your grocery pickup, if you're in the carpool line, if you're in the doctor's office, if you have just a couple minutes during your lunch break, you can just open up your inbox, tap, 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 find the chapter and start deepening your faith and that spiritual habit. Now, I know that the Psalms Project Digital Bible Study was super, super popular. There was one year when I ran it for free, and I'm never doing that again. I learned so much by doing that, and I'm so glad that I did it, but it was a mistake on my end, and I'll have to make another video detailing why I can't do that ever again, or offer it for free. But it was just such a good experience to learn that people want this. People are willing to give their email addresses for it. And it just really helps them understand what Mercy Creates is all about. So when they receive other emails, they're bought in, they're sold, they're ready to open it up and see what new painting, what new collection, what new product is available. So the mini digital Bible studies that I created, I did during the summer in the Psalms, and one in Christmas in the Psalms. I made them seasonally themed, and I kind of scheduled them around times when it is difficult to read your Bible, because in the summer our schedules are, super crazy. And the same around Christmas. There were only 4 weeks in 2024 between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And that's just a crazy time period to stay focused and to stay faithful in Bible reading. So from the main digital Bible study, I pulled out 5 chapters and created the mini digital Bible studies. And those were emailed out to people weekly or daily, which helped people get into the rhythm of receiving the emails and receiving what it was all about. So later on, once they finished the mini digital Bible study, I could send them another email telling them about the main Psalms Project Digital Bible Study and asking them to join that and to pay for it. Because now that you're in this rhythm and you started to see some changes and you're liking it and you're like, oh, this is easy, I can do this for, the next however many days, it makes more sense to join the main digital Bible study once you've taken part in the mini digital Bible study. And I did create some other free offers and opt-ins and downloads, and I used paid advertising with everything. With the mini digital Bible study, with a gift tracker that I created, Christmas card guide, a Bible study context guide, a prayer journal. There were other things that I created, but I found that the 2 mini digital Bible studies were the most successful, especially with the paid advertising. People were willing and ready to trade in their email addresses to be able to receive these emails. Now I want to talk a little bit more about, what didn't necessarily go as great in 2024, the not so great moments that I need to do better in 2025. And the first one is I kind of spent more money and time on not as great educational resources and teaching and workshops and classes, and I didn't get a lot of value out of them. And I love learning, and I love learning from other people that are more skilled and more knowledgeable in the industry. So these were more email building, social media building, design oriented. And it was fine. It was okay. Like, there were some nuggets that I was able to glean from the workshops and live seminars, but it wasn't worth the price tag that I purchased it for. And it was difficult because part of the year I started realizing, like, I need to just do. I need to stop learning and consuming education, and I just need to do. I need to start working. I need to start practicing. I need to start putting things out there. And I need to stop joining these live seminars, webinars, workshops, email workshops, and challenges and stuff. I need to stop putting money towards these things that are telling me what I need to do, but I'm not actually doing them. So that's something that I want to change in 2025. I want to be more discerning of not only where I'm putting my money towards, but the education and who I'm listening to. I really want to think through, is this something that's really going to push the needle 1%, or is it just going to help me feel more encouraged about what I'm doing and give me a pat on the back that I'm already doing it? The other thing that didn't go so great in 2024 was that I was quiet launching. I wasn't being as loud with the products and the services that I was creating and really wanting to advertise. For instance, I made a subscription called Palette of the Month, and there's a lot of YouTube videos talking about Palette of the Month, and I love it. And it's one of those things that I think really draws on my strengths of colors and color palettes and painting. And I just know it can be a stressful area for some people to think through what colors go together. So this was going to eliminate that stress of, how can I match this blue with this yellow when I know I need a yellow, but I'm not sure which shade of yellow to use. But I wasn't loud about it. I slipped it in with the launch of Watercolor Foundations and just kind of kept it there as a bonus. But people didn't really know what it was. And I wasn't demonstrating it on social media. I was barely talking about it in emails, and it was just kind of there. So maybe if you were interested and maybe you liked it, you would buy it and subscribe, but I just wasn't as loud about it as I needed to be. And I think part of the problem was that I had an idea and a strategy overall for the year of what I wanted to launch and what I wanted my emails to be about, but I wasn't necessarily thinking about how much work it would need or how many weeks and emails it would need before the launch. Then I need to start talking and dropping those seeds of, this is coming, be on the lookout, be watching, be ready. I was trying to do too many fun ideas and fun things that I thought were going to be really cool and successful immediately, and I wasn't preparing my audience for them. More often than not, I felt like I had more important emails to send out. So it needs to be a change of either sending out more emails or really segmenting my list so they get the right emails at the right times of which products and services they're going to be more receptive to, or launching less, creating less, or being more strategic with what it is that I'm launching and really stick to that plan. Which kind of leads into the third thing that I wasn't super great about, but kind of was, but kind of wasn't. I didn't paint enough. And it's fine. There were some things that happened in 2024 that really diverted my attention from standing or sitting and really painting and, working in my craft. But I'm an art business. I'm a painter. I'm an artist. If I'm not creating the art, what am I doing? I need to be doing it. And I'm trying to be graceful with myself. Like, I made 2 collections, and that's really great. Actually, I made 3 collections. I did the Presents notebooks. I also did the collection Sovereignty. And I created a new line of the Psalms Project Christmas ornaments. So I did 3 painting collections, which was great, which is fine. But again, I need to be creating more. I need to be stretching that muscle and that creativity. So the next time that I do feel inspired and want to paint, I'm not standing there thinking like, why is my brush not doing what my brain is telling it to do? Because I do believe that creativity is a muscle. And if you don't exercise it properly or daily or weekly, when it comes time to use it, you're going to be like, What's going on with my hands? Why is the brush not working? What's happening with this paper and this paint? You know, you have to be using your creativity. So in 2025, I really want to be painting more, even if I'm not going towards a specific collection and theme and idea. I still want to be painting. I want to be physically creating. And I've pulled some of my audience and my subscribers and asked, like, would you guys be okay with that? Would you be okay if I started just releasing paintings and they weren't collection themed or focused? And a lot of them said yes. I got the results back from my email and they said, yes, we would love that. So now that I know that they're okay with it, and it's going to take the pressure off of me to think through the whole collection process, I'm going to start doing it. I don't necessarily have an idea in mind. It's just going to come when it comes, but I'm excited to start working and painting again. So to recap, the 3 thumbs up things that I think I did well in 2024, I streamlined the product process for my ornaments. So at any point in time, if I need to hand them off to somebody, then we can easily do it. It saves me time, saves me energy, saves me some money, and I'm going to be so glad to be able to give this project and this product creation to somebody else in the future. I've launched a new digital offer, and that's going to be setting the foundation for any future digital products. And third thing, I understood more of what my audience is interested in, so I can start spending more money and really putting more gas on the fire to that, to be able to collect more email addresses, because now I know what they're interested in. And the 3 things that were kind of okay. In 2025, I spent more money than I wanted to on things that just didn't help me move the needle on those education and knowledge-based workshops and teachings. I could have been better at spending money. The second thing was that I was more quiet launching than being really loud about the products and services that I was making. And the third thing was that I need to be painting more. I need to be creating more. So if I were to Yelp review my business in 2025, I would give it 4 stars with a looking forward to seeing how management improves the service. I think that's fair. I think that's okay. I mean, I did some great things, but I also could figure out, we can be better on this. Thanks for being here and listening to me recap, what worked well and what was kind of, it could be better in 2024 for the business. And if you're an art business or any other type of business and you understand where I'm coming from, let me know in the comments and let me know how you're planning and what you're working on and strategizing towards in 2025. I want to be able to be there for you and cheer you on. I mentioned that 2024 was a very difficult year for finances. And so in the next video, I'm going to tear down the 7 revenue streams that Mercy Creates had in 2024. It was incredible to see and to look through the numbers to see which ones were our top performing streams and which ones, needed some work, but they all led to a record-breaking year. And I'm really excited to share those numbers with you. So I'll see you in the next video.